What I want to talk to you today is that we're going to talk about how you can be brave and overcome not talking in meetings, right? I want to talk to my people that you're the only person in the room right now that looks like you. We're going to talk to the people that that nobody understands you in that room, right? We're going to talk to people that you might have some doubt when you're around your peers and your colleagues because you feel like you're either inexperienced or you don't have enough credentials, or you just feel like you don't belong in that space, even though you probably code, even though you probably can do everything that your other peers can do, even though you probably know the solutions to every single problem that your supervisor has probably brought up to you. And what we're going to talk about today is a BRAVE framework that's going to help you out. I'm going to give a quick overview of the BRAVE framework. This is imposter by design. For people built to succeed in systems not built for them. That is what we're talking about today. And why should you listen to me? My name is Dr. Ryan Alexander Johnson, and I am what we call an imposter syndrome expert. And I've been researching this for over the past 5 years. I wrote the book about imposter by design as well. And once again, did I mention I've been researching this? So I have a background in academia, and I've been doing my due diligence on trying to figure out, why do I know so many high achieving, so many smart people who play small, right? Who do different things to self-sabotage themselves. And they do it because they're experiencing an imposter phenomenon. This phenomenon is basically you have self-doubt, you have an insecurity about yourself, even though you have the education, the experience, the credentials, and the qualifications for the position that you are in, but you don't believe that you should be there. And because you don't believe you should be there, you feel like you are a fraud when you are around your peers. That self-doubt starts to creep in, and then you do certain things that basically, once again, limits your potential. Me, being who I am, I don't want to see that, right? We need more people like you, probably in whatever field that you are in. You probably might be the only person that looks like you in that field. Or if you are, once again, the only minority in that field, you might be going through any of that. You feel like you're stuck and you feel like you're not growing how you should be. Well, listen to me just for the next few minutes as far as I talk about this BRAVE framework. So the BRAVE framework is very simple. All right, it's an acronym. I love acronyms. And the first one in the BRAVE framework is what we call believe in yourself, right? And I'm not talking about not having any blind faith in yourself, right? We're talking about different things that you're going to realize. What does it mean to actually believe in yourself? Here's what I'm reading from the book. You're going to learn how to collect, analyze, and properly interpret the data of your achievements, creating a factual basis for your self-belief that can withstand scrutiny from even your harshest internal critic, which that is yourself. We are our biggest critics, right? Somebody could say, man, you did an excellent job on that presentation. You're going to be like, man, nah, I did terrible. You didn't see that slide to where I forgot? They don't know that you forgot anything because you're the expert and you're the one teaching them and telling them what about, right? So believe in yourself is to be in this. And then this next thing, and think of this as a foundation, is that you have what we call respect your journey. So after you believe in yourself, you need to respect your journey. And once again, I'm pulling from the book, I'm pulling from the text. Detours, the struggles, the non-traditional route, those gave you your perspective and capabilities that people who took the straight path don't have. You're going to learn how to honor your entire journey, not just the highlight reel, because the hard parts are what build you. So you're respecting your journey. You must, once again, acknowledge the path that you take and not compare to those other paths. Because once again, the path that you take makes you unique. So if you don't understand your how unique you are compared to somebody else, that's a fatal flaw. So once again, in this BRAVE framework, this is a foundation thing. You believe in yourself. You then respect your journey. You respect your own path. And then once you respect your path, you can then lead to the A part, which is you are going to acknowledge your strengths. So let's look once again from the text. And when I say this, you're going to develop a comprehensive, objective inventory of your capabilities, technical expertise, and analytical approaches, all the skills, and then your unique perspectives you bring because of who you are and where you came from. So once you believe in yourself, you can then have the belief to now go and look at your journey, and then you realize, oh, I am this person. I am you, unique, strong individual. So I bring something different to the table, right? And once you realize you respect your journey, you can then start to acknowledge all the great and different things that you are good at that everybody else isn't good at, right? You could do certain things that your colleague Scott can't do. They called you to do it. They didn't call Scott to do it. They called you. So because they're calling you, you need to acknowledge the strengths that you have, acknowledge the capabilities that you have, and understand, right, if you are self-confident, if you are competent in yourself, that can open up a lot of different doors. Next is we're going to have voice your truth. And let me read from the text one more time, right? So you are going to learn how to communicate your knowledge, your ideas, and perspectives with clarity and conviction, even when doubt is sitting right there next to you. And this is the biggest thing that I feel like I love about the framework is voicing your truth. Because once again, you can have belief, you can respect your journey, you could even understand that you are cold, but then I see this a lot is that people they stop there. And then once they stop there is because this is where, once again, imposter phenomenon is where you have self-doubt, you have insecurity, even though you have all the credentials that you need. And that leads to you not playing big, you play small. And voicing your truth is how you can play big. You need to let the people know that you know what you're talking about. You need to let the people know about your truth, right? And if you can't voice your truth, how are they supposed to believe in you? How are they supposed to respect you? How are they supposed to acknowledge you? They can't acknowledge you because you're not voicing your truth. What don't you understand? What don't you understand? If you don't voice your truth, right, that's where those reaction mechanisms come in. To where one of them is where you might go under the radar and you play small and then you look invisible. And then they don't see you because you've been under the radar, right? You don't talk in the meetings, right? You don't step up when somebody's asking for a solution, even though you know the solution to the problem. Another thing, you might overwork yourself, right? You might over-prepare. You might look at something and tick it and tinker with it and do all that different type of things. Even though it was probably good on the second draft, you are going to put in another 10 drafts. You are going to put in another 20 hours when they only asked for a sentence response. You gave them a 3-page paragraph or a 3-page letter, right? What's that, Aaliyah? I'm writing a 4-page letter. Hey, they didn't ask for a 4-page letter. They just asked for, hey, what do you think about this? And then you go back to your desk, you come up with this 4-page letter, which you might think is fine, but why did you really do that, right? You did that because you think that you are not qualified enough and you have to overwork yourself compared to Scott, once again, who just said, hey, I'm going to wing it. I'm going to go in here and say, hey, Bob, I think it's going to do this. And we know Scott just made this up on the go. The last thing, once again, that's coming from the book is to see your expectation. And then I'm reading this from the book, y'all. Defining what matters to you, then pursuing it with intention rather than anxious striving. Because trying to exceed everyone else's expectations is a losing game. But exceeding your own, that, my friend, is sustainable. And that's what I'm talking about. Exceed expectations. In particular, I'm saying exceed your expectations. Because if you don't exceed your expectations, well, you know what's going to happen. Because you know what's going to happen because it's already happening. That's the reason why you're probably looking at this video. That's the reason why you're still here with me now. Right? You know that you've been playing small. You know that you haven't reached the possibilities, reached the goals that you want to do because you've been secretly limiting yourself. And that is a scary thing about imposter phenomenon. And that is why I'm talking about it with you right now. So if you have this self-doubt, if you have this insecurity to where you believe, where you really believe deep down, right, that you don't belong in the space that you are in, even though you might be the only minority, even though you might be the only woman, even though you might be the only person that is who you are in the industry that you are in, you need to recognize in yourself that you deserve more. You earned it. You need to understand that you are there for a reason. You didn't get there for nothing, right? You are there for a reason. They picked you for a reason. You are there for a reason. And the moment that you realize that, that is where your life is going to change. And that's the reason why I wrote this book, because I want to make sure that you understand that you earned it. And the moment that you realize that, my friend, the moment that you realize that, your life is going to be different forever.